Hello my dear friends, today we are going to discuss our regular topic, that is reproduction in lower and higher plants. In last 4 to 5 lectures we discussed many things as concerns the reproduction. That is, first we discussed what is meant by reproduction, then we discussed the main type, that is sexual reproduction. As concerns the sexual reproduction, first we discussed their definition, the exact site of sexual reproduction, that is flower. With flower we briefly discussed the exact structure and the reproductive first, that is androecium and gynoecium. The androecium will act as a male reproductive organ, while the gynoecium will act as a female reproductive organ. Now the reproductive structure, as concerns the reproduction, the development of male gametophyte, the development of female gametophyte, the brief and detailed process of pollination we complete. Okay. Now in this lecture we will discuss the exact mechanism of double fertilization and some basic events of some basic terms as concerns the double fertilization. Okay. See here. First we discuss as concerns the double fertilization, siphonogamy. The siphonogamy word, it is arise from the two words. First word, that is siphon, meaning the tube. Gamy means fusion or the mixing, which is concerned with the fertilization. Okay. What is meant by siphonogamy? The siphonogamy is nothing but the transfer of haploid non-motile male gamete. The siphonogamy is nothing but the transfer of haploid non-motile male gamete through the hollow pollen tube for fertilization. Then the event of the mechanism, it is said to be siphonogamy, which is related to double fertilization. Okay. Then we discuss the next part. What is the next part? How the exact entry of pollen tube, it is in the ovule for the fertilization process. This is very important thing as concerns the double fertilization. What is the thing? How the exact pollen tube, it is entered in the ovule for the exact mechanism, that is fertilization. The entry of pollen tube within the ovule, in the ovule, it takes place with the help of 3 ways. Which are these 3 ways? Now the first way, it is said to be orogamy. The second way, it is said to be mesogamy. And the third way, or the another way, it is said to be cholezogamy. We have to discuss one by one what is meant by orogamy, what is meant by mesogamy, what is meant by cholezogamy. First we discuss what is meant by orogamy. Oro means spore, that is which is again related to micropyle, because the micropyle is nothing but it is a spore. Okay. See here, orogamy, the entry of pollen tube. The entry of pollen tube through the micropyle. The entry of pollen tube through the micropyle. When it is takes place, the process, it is said to be orogamy. Now the second possibility, that is cholezogamy. Second possibility, that is cholezogamy. When the entry of pollen tube for the fertilization, it is takes place through the cholezal end of ovule. Through the cholezal end of ovule, then the thing, it is said to be cholezogamy. What we say? The entry of pollen tube through the choleza, when it is takes place, then the thing, it is said to be cholezogamy. Now the next and last possibility, that is mesogamy. Meso means middle. When the entry of pollen tube, it is takes place through the intugments. The entry of pollen tube, it is takes place through the intugment within the ovule. The process, it is said to be mesogamy. See here, the entry of pollen tube through the intugment, then the type it is of the thing that is said to be mesogamy. Means the entry of pollen tube for the purpose of very important, that is fertilization within the ovule, it is takes place in 3 ways. First, that is orogamy. Second, that is maybe cholezogamy, or another one, that is mesogamy. Now we discuss the next part, that is the entry of pollen tube in the ovule with the help of picture, how it is takes place. See here, it represents the entry of pollen tube through the micropyle, through the pore, hence it is said to be orogamy. The second one, the entry of pollen tube, it is takes place through the cholezal end of the ovule, that is exact opposite to micropylar end. Here there is a micropylar end, and here there is a cholezal end. When the entry of it is takes place through the cholezal end, then the process, it is said to be cholezogamy. And the last one, when the entry of pollen tube, it is takes place through the intugment. Through the intugment, these are the protective coverings then the process it is said to be mesogamy. In this way, orogamy, chelazogamy or the mesogamy. Now we discuss the next related part. See here on the screen, double fertilization. We have to discuss the double fertilization. Okay, why it is called double fertilization? See why it is called the double fertilization. Here, as concerned the double fertilization, there are two specific events, two specific mechanisms, two specific things. The first one here it is said to be syngamy, which is also called as the generative fertilization. The first thing it is called as the syngamy, which is also called as the generative fertilization. And the second thing that is triple fusion, which is also called as the vegetative fertilization. In this fertilization, both the male gametes, in this fertilization, both the male gametes are participate, and the entire mechanism it is said to be double fertilization. Okay. As concerned the double fertilization, there are two things. There are two steps. The mechanism it is completely with the help of two specific steps. The first step or the first thing it is called as the syngamy, which is also called as the generative fertilization. How it is occur? See what happens in this. The fusion of haploid male gamete. The fusion of haploid male gamete with the haploid female gamete, that is here, to produce the diploid zygote. The process it is said to be syngamy or the generative fertilization. The second thing that is triple fusion. The second thing that is triple fusion, which is also called as the vegetative fertilization. What happens as concerned the vegetative fertilization? The second haploid male gamete. What happens? The second haploid male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus. Fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus, producing the primary endosperm nucleus. Shortly, what we said, PEN. The process it is said to be triple fusion. Already there is a diploid secondary nucleus, and then there is a fusion with the haploid male gamete. It gives us finally triploid structure, that is primary endosperm nucleus, or which is also called as PEN. Hence, in this way, with the help of these two processes, the two specific male gametes, that is both the male gametes are participating in the process, that is fertilization. In the event it is said to be double fertilization. See here with the help of picture. Here, when there is a pollen tube here enter like this, and the two non-motile male gametes are coming in this position. And here there is a diploid secondary nucleus. Both the male gametes are utilized in the process, it is said to be double fertilization. Okay, now see the next part. Here there is a release of sperm cell, and here there is a completion of double fertilization. With the help of picture, they give you the brief idea, clear-cut idea as concerns the double fertilization. Here there is a double secondary nucleus. Here there is a egg cell. Here there is a syngamy, and here there is a triple fusion. Okay, vegetative fertilization. Now we have to discuss some very important, significant part of the double fertilization. What is the first significance as concerned the double fertilization? First, it is a unique feature. First, it is a silent feature. It ensures that the parent plant invests a seed with a food store. The second significance, the zygote develops embryos. The zygote develops the embryos, which consequent the development into a new plant. This is the second significance. Now the third significance, the triploid primary endosperm nucleus. The triploid primary endosperm nucleus develops into nutritive tissue, that is endosperm. Now the next one significant, that is it restores the diploid condition. It restores, that is the diploid condition. The last one, that is it avoids the polyembryony. It avoids the polyembryony. In this way, these are the some specific 5 important significant as concerned the double fertilization. Once again I repeat the same. It is a unique feature. It is a unique feature. It ensures that the parent plant invests a seed with a food storage. Second thing, the zygote develops embryo, which consequently develops into a new plant. Third, the triploid primary endosperm nucleus develops into nutritive tissue, which is called as endosperm. Fourth one, it restores the diploid condition in the life cycle of plant. And last one, that is it avoid the polyembryoning. In this way, these are the 5 very important points as concerns the double fertilization. Now we have to discuss some specific related part or the post fertilization changes. In this, first we have to discuss the development of endosperm, then we have to discuss the development of embryo. In short, what we say, these are the post fertilization changes. Okay, see here the development of endosperm. The triploid primary endosperm nucleus undergoes mitosis. What happens as concerns the development of endosperm? First, the triploid primary endosperm nucleus, that is triploid paired structure, undergo mitosis, form the nutritive tissue, which is called as the endosperm. Again, on the basis of development of mood. On the basis of development of mood, the endosperm having the 3 types. The first type of endosperm development, it is said to be nuclear type of endosperm. The second one, it is said to be cellular, and the last one, it is said to be helovial. Means once again I repeat, on the basis of development of mode of endosperm. On the basis of development of mode of endosperm, the endosperm having the 3 types. First one, that is nuclear, second one, that is cellular, and last one, that is helovial type of endosperm. Now see how the exact nuclear type of endosperm is developed. Then we discuss how the cellular develops, and then we discuss how the helovial type of endosperm it is developed. See here what happens. The primary endosperm nucleus. First thing what happens? The primary endosperm nucleus undergo repeated mitotic divisions. Without formation of cell to produce a large number of free nuclei. Meaning only the nuclear divisions it is continuously takes place. Only the nuclear it is under the dividation motion, and there is a free nuclear large number of forms. It is takes place in example, that is sunflower, wheat, coconut, etc. About the 161 families shows this type of development of nuclear. Means only the nuclear it is undergo continuous development, and after that it will go a large number of free nuclei. Hence it is said to be nuclear type of endosperm development. The second thing, that is cellular. As usual, what happens here? The primary endosperm nucleus undergo a cellular type of mitotic cell division. Means first there is a karyokinesis. After the completion of karyokinesis or simul to karyokinesis, there is a division of cytoplasm. Means right from beginning there is a nuclear development as well as there is a division of cytoplasm. The collective part it is said to be cellular type, and the endosperm it is said to be cellular. The primary endosperm nucleus undergoes cellular type of mitotic cell division right from beginning. Hence it is said to be cellular type of nuclear endosperm development. It is present in the balsam, Pittonia, Adams, etc. About the 72 dicot family, it shows this type of development. Now we discuss the last type, that is helovial, which is present in the monocot helovial cell. How it is takes place? It is actually intermediate type in between the first and second, that is nuclear and cellular type. Here what happens? In this, the first division of primary endosperm nucleus. The first division of primary endosperm nucleus is followed by a transverse wall, which gives smaller chalaza and a larger micropylar cell. Nuclei in each cell divided by the free nuclei. Means the first division it is cellular type. After the clear-cut first cell division, then there is only the free nuclear divisions are takes place. Hence the type it is said to be intermediate in between the first and second. The wall formation in micropylar chamber. Now see here, again already I told you, it is intermediate between the cellular and the nuclear type. Helovial series of mono. It is takes place in the asparagus, helovials in the monopods. In this way, this is about the development of endosperm. Now we have to discuss under the post-fertilization changes the development of embryo. How the embryo it is developed, how the embryo it is formed. See here what happens. Embryogenesis. Genesis means formation. Genesis means synthesis. What synthesis? What form? Embryo. In the process it is said to be embryogenesis. The formation of embryo. It is from this zygote, it is called embryogenesis. The zygote it divide, it gives rise to two unequal cells. The larger cell towards the micropyle. First the zygote it divides. After the divide, it is said to be proembryo. It is said to be proembryo. Proembryo it is in two unequal cells. Proembryo it is in two unequal cells. One cell it is larger in condition and another cell it is in smaller in condition. The larger cell towards the micropyle, here it is said to be basal cell or the suspensors initial. Now the smaller cell towards the chalaza end, here it is said to be terminal cell or the embryonal initial. Okay? Now the basal or the suspensor initial, again it produces 6 to 10 cells of rods. Again it gives rise to the 6 to 10 cells which form the rod. From that 6 to 10 cells, again it gives rise to the filamentous suspensor. The first cell it produces the hastoria, the last cell it produces the hypophysis, and the function of suspensor, it pushes the embryo in the endosperm towards the endosperm for the proper nutrition. The function of suspensor, it pushes the embryo towards the endosperm for the proper nutrition. This is from the larger cell. From the smaller cell which is towards the chalaza end, what happens? Which is called as the terminal or the embryonal initial. It again gives rise to 8 cells. That 8 cells are in single word. It is said to be octate. Octa means 8. Now the lower 4 cells, they produce the hypocotyle and radicle. And the upper 4 cells, they produce the plumule and cotyledons. Maybe it is 1 or maybe it is 2. That is monocot or the diploid. Now, already I told you that the zygote divide, it forms the 2 cells. That 2 cell structure it is said to be proembryo. Again the same content. See here. Once again I repeat the same thing. The zygote it divide into rise to 2 cell structure. That 2 cell structure it is said to be proembryo. Again the larger cell towards the micropyle, which is called as the basal cell or the suspensor initial. Again that basal or the suspensor initial divide transversely in one plane. Finally forms 6 to 10 cells of row. Again do the same thing already I told you. Again this smaller cell which is towards the chalaza end, which is called as the terminal or the embryonal initial, with 3 successive mitotic divisions right angle to each other, leads to formation of 8 cells, which is called as the octate. Again the lower 4 cells give rise to hypocotyle and radicle. The upper 4 cells are give rise to plumule and cotyledon. Maybe it is 1 or maybe it is 2. Now we discuss the next part as concerns the same topic. That is when we discuss in the diploid, it is heart or the horseshoe shaped structure. In the monogot, it is a shield shape or it is also called as scutellum. Now the protective sheath of plumule it is said to be coleoptile, and the protective sheath of radicle, here it is said to be coleorhiza. Okay. Now we have to discuss some part as concerned the seed and fruit development. Some part as concerned the seed and fruit development. See here what happens after the successful development. Ovary it gives rise to after the development fruit. The ovule it is converted into fruit ball. It is also said to be pericarp. Again the ovule it is converted into seed. The funicle it is converted into stalk of seed. The hilum it is converted again into hilum of seed. The nucellus, these are disintegrates or sometimes they form the part of perisperm. Now the integuments, they form the protective covering that is seed pods. The micropyle, it acts as a micropyle of seed. The synergid, disorganized. The egg cell, it gives rise to very important structure that is embryo. The secondary nucleus, it gives rise to nutritive tissue that is endosperm. And the antipodals, they are disorganized. In this way, this is about the as concerned the development of ovary after the successful things. Now we discuss next part. Here there is a bean seed, one example diploid, how the exact structure. Here there is a male seed related to monocot, how the exact structure. Now we discuss some significance of seed and fruit development. Okay. Now the first significance as concerned the seed and fruit development. Fruit provide the nourishment to the developing seeds. The first very important character as concerned the fruit development, fruit significance, the fruit provide the nourishment to the developing seeds. Fruit protect the seed in immature condition. These are the as concerned the fruit. Now we have discussed as concerned the seed. The seed it acts as a propagating organ of the plant. The seed it acts as a propagating organ of the plant. The seed and fruit develop special devices for their dispersal. For example, for their dispersal, exact for the pollination. When any seed it has to transfer from one part to another part, they prepare a special structure, a special dispersal structure which plays a very important role in the pollination. Now we discuss the next part. Apomixis. As concerns the apomixis, we have to discuss some specific terms. In this first, that is dormancy. What is meant by dormancy? The structural or the physiological adaptive mechanism for the survival. The structural or the physiological adaptive mechanism for survival, then it is said to be dormancy. Now, exact about the apomixis. Apo means without. Apo means away. Away from the mixing. What is the exact meaning of apomixis? It is a phenomenon. It is a phenomenon of formation of embryos without gamete, without meiosis and without semen. When there is a formation of embryo or the embryos without gamete, meiosis and syngamy, the phenomenon is said to be apomixis. Genetically identical plants are effectively produced with the help of apomixis. Now next one, apogamy. What is meant by apogamy? The gametophyte produce embryo-like structure. The gametophyte produce the embryo-like structure without fertilization. Then it is said to be apogamy. Now we have to discuss what is meant by apospory. The diploid sporophyte produce a diploid gametophyte. The diploid sporophyte produce a diploid gametophyte without meiosis. Then the thing it is said to be, the mechanism it is said to be apospory. Example that is orange and the mango. Now we discuss the next part, that is the types of apomixis. As concerns the apomixis, there are three different things. First one that is recurrent apomixis. Second one that is non-recurrent apomixis. And last one, third thing, that is adventive embryonic. Now we have to discuss how exact recurrent, how exact non-recurrent, and how exact adventive embryonic takes place. See here, recurrent apomixis. Embryo sac arises. When the embryo sac arises from an archisporial cell or some other part of nucleus, then it is said to be recurrent apomixis. Diplospory. Embryo sac from the megaspore mother cell. Example that is Taraxel. Next one that is apospory. Here, when the embryo from nuclear cells arrive, the thing it is said to be apospory. Now second, that is non-recurrent apomixis. The embryo sac arises from the egg cell. When the embryo sac arises from the egg cell by a parthenogenesis or from cells of gametophyte through the apogamy, then it is said to be non-recurrent apomixis. This method produces sterile plants and do not reproduce sexually. It is very, very important. Example that is Nicotiana. Example one that is Nicotiana. Now we discuss the last thing, that is adventive embryonic. What about that? When the embryos may develop from somatic nucleus or the integuments along with the normal zygotic embryo, then it is said to be adventive embryonic. It is occurred. It is present in the mango, it is present in the orange, it is present in the lemon, etc. etc. It gives polyembryonic, means more than one embryo will give rise. Hence here it is said to be polyembryonic. Now polyembryonic. What is exact polyembryonic? The development of more than one embryo. Already I told you. The development of more than one embryo inside the seed, then that condition it is said to be polyembryonic. It is present in the citrus. Present in the citrus. The polyembryony increases the chances of survival of new plant. This is the significance of polyembryony. Now we discuss what is meant by parthenocarpy. The development of seedless fruit. The development of seedless fruit without fertilization. The process it is said to be parthenocarpy. It is takes place, for example, in pineapple, banana, papaya, etc., etc. The placental tissue in the unfertilized ovary. What happens exact? The placental tissue in the unfertilized ovary produces the auxin IAA, which is responsible for enlargement of ovary into fruit. This is the exact mechanism. Thank you. In this way, here we finish our running topic, very important topic, that is the reproduction in lower and higher plants. Thank you.